WLTV for 2017. I'm Sam Gayton.
And I'm Michael Vasquez, and happy National Rubber Ducky Day.
As we're sure as most of you know, we start a 3-day weekend tomorrow because we do not have school on Monday. For over 30 years now, the state of Illinois has observed Martin Luther King Jr. Day to recognize the contributions of the civil rights leader.
WLTV's Alex Franklin talked to several people and got their perspective on Martin Luther King Jr. and what it meant to them.
Thanks, guys. Hey, I'm Alex Franklin, and I'm here with Sarah, Frida, and Tori, and we're here to talk about Martin Luther King Day, which is Monday. Sarah, what does Martin Luther King mean to you?
Martin Luther King represents standing up for what you believe in and what is right, even if the odds seem against you.
Interesting. Frida, what does Martin Luther King mean to you?
He represents courage and hope for the oppressed, and I think that's gone a long way.
That's great. Tori, what does Martin Luther King mean to you?
Martin Luther King means like a leader, like someone that's powerful, who never gave up and never stopped trying to did what he believed in.
That's great. Another thing that we've prepared for you guys today are some Martin Luther King quotes that I want these students to react to. So, Sarah, could you read your quote?
My quote is, "The time is always right to do what is right."
And what does that mean when you read that?
I think that means that even though, everything may seem to be going wrong, if it's important enough, you should keep going and keep fighting for whatever that is.
Beautiful. Frida, what can you share with us your quote?
Yeah, it says, "I've decided to side with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear."
And how do you feel after reading that?
It's a positive quote. I mean, hate is a burden, and I don't think we should side with it at all.
That's great. Tori, can you read yours?
We must learn to live together as brothers or perish as foes.
And how do you feel after reading that?
I feel like we all got to stay together, stick together, live as one whole nation. If not, we all just going to tear apart, go separate ways, and, be enemies.
That's great. I think it's great that we get the perspectives of students about Martin Luther King because, as we know, emotions are very high due to the recent presidential election. And the quote that I have for Martin Luther King, which I think is astounding, is that darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only love can do that. And I think that as a group, as Tori said with his standing together as brothers, we need to look out for each other in this time of high emotion. Thank you. Oh, back to the studio.
Thanks, Alex. As winter break came to an end, many of us caught up on some much-needed sleep and enjoyed a break from school. But a group of more than 60 Leiden students headed down to the U of I campus in Urbana to attend, and some performed at the annual Theater Fest.
WLTV's Noelle Lother caught up with some of the participants of the event to find out about their experience.
Thanks, guys. I'm Noelle Lother, and I'm here with Fabian Bartos and Faith Bass, who traveled down to Theater Fest with Leiden Theater Program over this winter break. So, Fabian, what can you tell us about Theater Fest?
So Theater Fest is the largest non-competitive theater festival in the United States, and multiple schools get to go down there and perform their own theater show.
And then, Faith, as an attendee, what was your experience?
Theater Fest is something that I looked forward to every year. It's just fun to go down, to be with students that love the same thing as you, and you just get to watch shows all day.
Leiden also had the opportunity to perform Historia de una Escalera at the festival. Fabian was assistant stage manager of the show. What can you tell us about your experience?
So as assistant stage manager, I had to control all the lights and control what people were doing backstage. So that was really fun, getting to be in charge in the backstage. And then it was very fun getting to perform a show down at Theater Fest because that rarely happens for Leiden.
And most importantly, Faith, what do you want Leiden students to know about our music and theater programs?
I think Leiden students should really give theater and music a try because you never know if you might love it, and it's really fun.
Well, Theater Fest has closed its curtains, and back to the studio.
Thanks, Noelle. Second semester has just started, but it's never too early to start thinking about final exams.
WLTV's Louis Vidal had the chance to talk to Mr. Sherrills about a new final exam policy that some of you may be able to take advantage of.
Good morning, Westside. My name is Louis Vidal, and we're here with Mr. Sherrills. Mr. Sherrills, I've been hearing some rumors about final exam exemption. What are they about?
All right, so the rumors are true. We have a new policy that's going to begin second semester that will allow juniors and seniors to exempt out of their final exams. But here's how it works. So if you're a senior, you need to have a B or above, 95% attendance rate. You need to have 3 tardies or less to a specific class, 9 tardies overall or less, and you also need to have no in-school or out-of-school suspensions. And if you're a senior, you can exempt out of any final that you have a B in. You won't have to take it.
And what about the freshmen and sophomores?
Okay, so let's start with the juniors first, too. So the juniors have all the same criteria, but can only exempt out of one final. So if you have an 80% in a class and you've met that other criteria, you can also decide to say, I don't want to take my science final or my social studies final, and you can do that for one class. So your question about freshman and sophomore, it's just a pilot program for now, so it's not something that we're necessarily committed to, but we thought it would be a student-friendly idea, especially for seniors as they're on their way out, to put the work in during the semester to make sure that they're here 95% of the time or more, to make sure they're getting to class on time, no disciplinary referrals, and that's a nice reward for juniors and seniors as they're getting to the end of their career. So we're hoping to build this out, but it's just a pilot, and maybe freshmen and sophomores will benefit from that in the future.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Sherrills. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Louis. Well, that's all the time we have for you this week. Good luck to the Eagles competing this weekend.
Have a great 3-day weekend, West Leiden, and don't forget,
Go Eagles!
So even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.